So, what are we talking about today?
Uh, because I know you wanted to bring up the Tom Brady thing.
He's the best
Uh,
quarterback ever. He's the best football
bro,
player ever.
I think in general, best athlete.
Yeah,
I know
he's
you had said that,
no,
and
I completely agree. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Dude, I was so I'm texting about 12 different people
hmm
during this Super Bowl thing. And like the best quarterback, I'm like, dude, fuck that best athlete ever. But what concerned me was what he said in his post. I was about to say post fight interview because I'm such a I'm such a UFC fan. But what concerned me is Tom Brady was like, "Oh, we're coming back," and I'm like, "Dude, you're 43. You have more Super Bowls than any franchise in NFL at seven, right? Seven is
Yeah,
the
seven.
number. Okay, so you have more than any team in the NFL.
hmm
You defeated your rival in a way of like the new Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. You beat him, so that whole I'm old and let's pass the torch, that shit didn't happen. Bro,
hmm
just it's time to quit. Like you
But
did everything.
but here's the thing: they said that when he was at the Patriots and was about to leave there, whenever they didn't go to the Super Bowl the last time, when it was 49ers and Chiefs, they're like, "Man, Tom Brady needs to retire," yada yada. And we just saw that those people that said that just ate their own words.
Well, no, don't you love the Patriots fans that are like, this is a win for the New England as well? Like, don't you love that? Like, I was like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
'cause,
fuck.
whenever he moved, because he's in what is it? What's the Fort Lauderdale, right? Buccaneers, or what's the city?
Bro, you are
I'm
showing
fucking.
you are showing your ignorance right now.
I
Tampa
was,
Bay,
thank
baby.
you. I was like, it's some shit. It's some popular place. Anyway, Tampa Bay. Whenever he moved teams there, bro, sales went up for that entire state of Florida. Like Tom Brady, people coming on the bandwagon, getting their Tom Brady shirts, even before he had announced his final move, because of course it was a rumor. All the stuff was being said, like, oh, he might join these teams, but Tampa Bay was like really the main one he was aiming toward, because there was talk about him going to the Colts, talk about him going to even the freaking Chargers for no reason. But of course, he signed with Tampa Bay,
No,
and I was,
there was massive talks about him going to the Raiders. Since
yeah, the
they built
Raiders.
that new Allegiant Stadium that they put like tons and tons of money. I think it was like, dude, I want to say like some, oh, dude, no, that sounds a little ridiculous, but I want to say like at least a B, like at least a
Yeah,
billion on this stadium. But I actually think that that's true. Yeah. Then like so if the Raiders is forking out that much money, they can afford Brady and everything like that. I know the Raiders was like basically pry one, and then Tampa just said, "Hey, look, we'll give you basically the city, bro. You know,
yeah,
come here."
yeah. And he's building that new foundation because, of course, it was Patriots and all this stuff, and now he's building this new thing with Tampa Bay. And I was really impressed with because I'm not really a football person. I only watch it whenever it's like the Thanksgiving Bowl and then Super Bowl, and every now and then if a game's on, I'll catch it. But I was like, man, like the thing I could say about Tom Brady is he knows how to bring out the best in all the players to where like they know they're an essential part of that team. Because you get some teams where it's only like I'm just gonna use an old example when Tony Romo was with the Cowboys. Like it's all focused on him and like a couple of other key players. But in this sense, like everyone he tries highlighting to where he's able to like motivate them and get them to his level and get them to like work as a well-oiled machine with not even being able to train in the off season because of COVID and everything that was happening. So for him to build up this whole franchise with a short period of time with all the restrictions, like he did an amazing job.
Ah, dude, they were a plus 500 team, and for people that don't bet on sports or anything, that when you say that, it's either Tampa's gonna win or lose. It's actually 50-50, which is terrible. That is the realistic things that we can logically look at when two teams are going at it. One has to be the victor and one has to be the loser.
hmm
But in a betting sense, in a betting line, you don't have like the Kansas City Chiefs. They were not a plus 500. Sure, logically speaking, one's going to win, one's going to lose. We know it's a 50-50. But how great that team is, how impressive Mahomes is, they're like a negative. I don't want to get big into terms here, but it's basically saying that they're going to win 70% of the time
Hmm.
and stuff like that. And then going to and looking at what Tampa Bay was without Tom Brady, they're a plus 500 team. They're either going to win or going to lose, which is horrible. But you know, it's not also Tom Brady. You had his tight end coming out of retirement. Then you had two other people
Gronk
that
and Antonio Brown.
yeah, you had AB Gronk. So it's not just Brady, but dude, like you said, he elevated the team. This is incredible what he done. What he done like this dude, to be 43 and have dude to be 40, that has to be inspirational. But you know, it also has to be inspirational in the way like I'm not dumb. Dude, I know he's juiced to the fucking gills with PEDs. He has to.
I don't know, bro. I mean,
Oh,
because
come on.
you gotta think that for them, yeah, 43 is like really old. You should be gone already, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not at least athletic. Because yeah, he doesn't run the ball anymore like he used to, but he can still throw like a fucking champ,
Oh,
and
look.
he knows how to be precise with that shit. To where he knows, okay, this person's going to be open. We're coordinating. We're so synced that he knows before I even touch that ball where to be, so I could get him.
No, look, though, I'm not disregarding his. I'm not trying to take away his hard work, dedication,
Hmm.
student of the game, or anything like that. I'm just clearly saying, for a man to be 43 and to be hit by 300-pound men and get up and continue to do this and continue to perform at an elite level, there's some sus there, which is fine. I think everyone's on fucking drugs anyway. I don't care. I don't care. I just like, you know, don't be fooled by he doesn't have he's not vascular or he's not like huge and ripped, so he's not on steroids. There's a lot of things that goes into endocrinology and then pharmacology in a way that we can dive deep into that on another podcast. But anyway, let's actually talk about what we pointed out at the post fight. See, I'm saying post fight again.
Post game,
The
homie.
post game conference. He said he was coming back, and we're like, dude, you've accomplished everything. You've climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. You've summited Everest how many times for the Super Bowl? You've swam across like massive bodies of water. You know, any fucking metaphor that will translate into the accomplishments that he's done in his career. Like, when is enough? Like, when do you quit, Justin? Like, when do are you? Are we gonna be like Harvey Dent? You know, a fucking in Dark Knight when he's like either you whatever
Yeah, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain or die a hero or
or
some
you
shit
die
like that.
hero. Like, what happens with Brady from here, man?
Well, so here's the thing, like, it's not about the money, cause he's set. Like
Dude,
he was set years ago. I think genuinely he just loves the game so much, and I think the reason why he really chose Tampa Bay because they've only won one other Super Bowl, and this was their second. So I think he really just wants to go to a team that he knew he could make a difference in and build a good franchise. And I think when he does get to that, because if I were him, shit, I'd be staying until they tell me, hey, bro, you can't be starter. Okay, I'll be freaking the second string. Okay, I'll be special teams. I'm gonna just keep getting
bro,
paid
but you're gonna
doing what I love.
with that choice of just staying until you're like basically third string, you've tarnished or you've ruined your legacy in a way. Look, sports is what have you did for me lately. That's it. That's all
Yeah,
sports. They're not. Oh yeah, we can look back and we can be historians and we can study the game, but who looks at that like okay, honestly, the average if COVID wasn't a thing and we're going to a Super Bowl party, right? Who in that Super Bowl party, percentage wise, actually knows the game of football? First down, second down, what's going on, offsides,
hmm,
what a yellow flag is or a red flag is a technical. Like, who actually knows the game of football? Think about that. Who knows it?
yeah.
It's
Like I know basics because I used to play it in middle school, and then of course as a kid, backyard football, shit like that.
yeah,
So I
but
would.
what I'm getting at is, and I don't mean to interrupt you,
No, no, no.
but what I'm getting at is we're gonna remember what you've done for us lately, and right now, like the story's just so great. It's so sweet. You've accomplished everything, dude. Right off in the sunset and everything. If you come back and like someone snaps, like I don't want him to end up like Cam Newton and Cam Newton's incredible quarterback. Well, was, and then he well, I won't say that, but he made questionable decisions in his practices and got injured a bunch of times. And he went from being this amazing superstar athlete, incredible specimen of a man, and now he's just like he's a second string. Well, he was brought to replace Tom Brady for the Patriots, and we saw that that just translated into shit. And it
Hmm.
was not Bill Belichick's fault. He's an incredible coach. It was Newton's inability to perform. And you see, like I just don't want to see the fall of Brady. I like it now. I don't want
Yeah.
to see goats fall off the mountain. I just want him to just be like, you know what? I'm not gonna fall. I'm just gonna get a little piece of this mountain and just build a house there and just ride off in the sunset. That's all I'm saying. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
because I understand what you're saying. Like, you definitely don't want to see someone that is known as the greatest of all time, and then all of a sudden, like, let's not even say next season, but the following season, like, he just falls apart. He's like just complete trash, and like it tarnishes the name. You're right, but it's kind of hard to like if I'm Tom Brady, like it's kind of hard to pinpoint like when is the time to quit. Like, people told me to quit 2 seasons ago, and I just won my seventh Super Bowl, so obviously I'm still winning these games, still performing at the level I should be performing at. But I think it's really just going to depend on what this franchise goes into. And I think once he accomplishes what he wants to accomplish with the Buccaneers, I think at that point, that's when he's going to be like, you know what, it is time. And I just think his main goal right now, and I can't speak for him, but I think he just really wants to create a franchise and show people like, like it didn't matter if I was on the Patriots or on these other teams. I was able to build this team to a performance level to where they could compete against these other ones.
All right, well, let's get off of football in general and Brady. Let's just think about it like this. Why do us and you out there, why do we have to be met with defeat or failure, or why do we have to pass the torch? Why can't we just, look at what we accomplished and just be like, you know what? I'm done. I quit. Like, I did everything.
Hmm.
Like, why does Floyd Mayweather keep coming back to fight? He's perfect, 50-0, greatest boxer ever, and like that can be up for debate because you look at it. I'm actually not going to get into it. It's not a Floyd Mayweather podcast, but but the fact is he's 50-0, dude. Just
Yeah, imagine the next fight he takes. He's like, oh, I'll go back, and then he loses that. You just tarnished your record.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, okay, so Floyd 50-0, he comes back, he gets destroyed, gets knocked out. Like if he fought Canelo, he already fought Canelo. Canelo was 20 when they fought, 20 or 21. I think it was Canelo's fifth professional fight, and he caught him. He realized he's like, dude, this guy's a problem. I need to catch him young. Exposed him, just tuned him up. If him and Canelo fought today, and well, if Canelo could fucking make the weight class for one, but if they fought today, dude, he would mop up Floyd. Like it would be horrible what he'll do to that man because he's old. And then
Hmm.
we're gonna remember is this. Oh, man, Floyd. You remember the guy that got fucking knocked out? Just embarrassed by Canelo. Yeah, we're not even gonna remember that he beat him. What was it, like 11, 12 years ago? I don't know. We're not gonna remember all those 49 or 50 perfect. We're gonna remember that one match.
Yeah, and
That
that's the thing.
and I just don't want that to be Brady's story. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, that's really with any athlete, like,
Or
with
yeah, or our story, or whatever.
yeah.
You got to know when to quit. In a way, that's just what I'm getting at. Like,
Yeah,
and
and
I feel
to,
like,
like,
what's up?
not necessarily like, oh, you're quitting because, this and that. No, it's just when it's time to, walk away and like not leave with what you have, but leave knowing that, what, I accomplished what I needed to. This is all I needed to do. It's time for me to step away and let the new generation take over,
Yeah, and
essentially.
be like a talent scout or something like that. There's a fighter that I love dearly, and I've been hurt by him too because of some choices that he's made. John Jones. And we've talked about him before, but John Jones said something interesting because he was telling a reporter asked him how does it because he's had 14 championship fights and he's 14-0 in all championship fights, which is just it's the record. Then you have GSP, which is 13-2. He's won 13 and lost two championship fights, but he has the most winningest record for championship bouts. And he was like, how do you motivate yourself to get up and train because you climbed this mountain so many times? And I feel like this is what Brady's going through as well. John said this. He's like, I don't climb a mountain to become the UFC champion. I climb the mountain that's named my opponent. So he'll say like, "Oh, I'm fighting." Well, in the future, he's either gonna fight Stipe Miocic or Francis Ngannou. That mountain is called Francis Ngannou. It's called Stipe Miocic. It's not called UFC heavyweight champion or blah 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 champion. He reinvented the way of how he sees his accomplishment. Because dude, you can only be champion for so long. We know time is always undefeated. And you cannot defeat Father Time. But I like his view of it. Like, think about that. He's not repeating the same accomplishment. He's setting up. He's like renaming it and resurfacing it in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like Brady just walk away, bro. Come on. But like, Phil, like, let's actually try to come to this. Like, I've actually educated myself, or attempted to educate myself on when to quit, because I bring this up all the time. Transitioning from military to civilian, I was like, when do you quit this career? It's easy to, well, it's not easy to get kicked out, as we know, but it's easy for someone else to make that choice for you. Like, let's
Hmm.
say if Brady would have got his leg snapped on his last throw or something like that. They're
Yeah.
gonna win the Super Bowl because what they were. It was, what was the final score? 9 to something.
It was 9-31, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
but like,
34.
let's say Brady gets his leg snapped or whatever. It's just a terrible injury.
Hmm.
Someone else made that decision for you, for him, or for you to quit the game of whatever you're competing in or whatever you're doing. You're fired from a job that you've been working 23 years from. Someone else made that decision for you. Well, that's a little different because if you're fired and there's actually backing of that, you made the decision to fuck up, blah, blah, blah. But you get what I'm saying. Someone makes the decision for you. While I was transitioning out of the military, I was like, I'm making this decision for me. I didn't smoke weed. I'm not getting kicked out. I'm not at higher tenured, fill in the example blank there. I'm making this choice for me. So I read a book and I wanted to share it with the audience here. So this book, if you can see it, guys, God, it's overexposed, but it's called The Dip, a little book that teaches you when to quit and when to stick. And this book was incredible for me, dude. It's only, if I can just look, it's so small. Have you read this book?
No, but I did go with you to Barnes& and Noble to make you get that book.
Oh
And
yeah,
once
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah. It's 76 pages of just some sound advice, and you can take it like there's good and like I don't know how you can misinterpret this book honestly, because it tells you exactly. Well, it doesn't tell you. It gives you the tools to determine if you should quit or you should stick with it. And I really enjoyed this book, and it was this and another book called Managing Yourself. But yeah, check it out, The Dip. Boom. Check that book out. I think Brady, if you're listening to Coffee Town Podcast, which I know you are, you know,
could you fucking imagine? He's
dude,
like, oh,
that'd be crazy.
shit.
Brady, fuck those sports psychologists. Listen to captions and Justin here. Read The Dip. All right, it will help you if you need help. But no, I looked for examples, dude, of people getting out and everything like that, and I feared getting out because of what I read on Reddit and forums and stuff like that. And then I like took control of it, and I was like, let me just educate myself, and that allowed me to make the decision to quit, to leave, to start something new. And I wonder if for an athlete like that, or someone that's been world champions, that is just the greatest of all time or great in that sport or that career, do you feel like you're so afraid to quit because you're going to lose your identity and you don't know what to do? Like,
But I don't think so because I mean you gotta think about Romo, Peyton Manning, all of those people like they're still known within sports and they've been out of the game for how long?
yeah, but
So
dude, we're talking about two different types of athletes here or
yeah.
careers. Like
Hmm.
there's arguments for Peyton, and then like Romo was just, in my opinion, a wonderful quarterback, but he was just a waste. Honestly,
Yeah.
he got so much opportunity from your great state. All right, and he just did not. He's a great commentator. He was a little weird in the Super Bowl though. A
Yeah,
little
I
weird.
felt like he was a little passive with a lot of the stuff he was trying to say,
A little
especially
weird.
when it came in regards to Mahomes and like not pointing out certain things, just talking about his big toe injury.
Yeah, it was very strange. Very strange. But anyway, yeah, I don't. I feel like what you should do, and if you want to figure out when to quit or when to stick, not even if you're a championship, if you're not a part of a championship team, or you're like a incredible athlete, or you're an astounding businessman or whatever, or you're a CEO of a company that just doesn't want to step down and you're on your death's bed, or you just don't want to move on because you're afraid to lose a little part of yourself. I think you should educate yourself in reading and then read what other people's done and stuff like that. Hopefully that will help because it helped me out a lot. That's not the only book. I read other stuff, but yeah. Yeah. What's up, man? Are we done?
I think
you
that
you
pretty
done
much it.
talking?
I thought we were not addressing the audience, but at this point, I mean, fuck it. Bro, give us the outro.
Why are you being weird? No, you do it.
All right, well, if you enjoyed listening to this, please make sure that you subscribe, like this video, share it with your
Well,
friends.
that was boring. All right, guys. If you made it this far in the podcast, you should just subscribe. Catch us every Monday and Thursday for new podcasts. We're out. Easy day, right? That was
You a
easy.
hoe. You a hoe.
Dude, they all know that.